to any one of you who may find yourself right now in a position in your life where you're thinking deeply about who is surrounding you, recognizing that maybe most people you've been holding on to are not the real ones, are not standing with you in the dark. There's actually a saying that says, a false friend is like a shadow. It disappears when you're in the dark. And when you find this kind of people in your life, you recognize that maybe you've been wasting your time. Maybe you've been wasting your resources, your energy, because, well, you're too precious, aren't you? You're too precious. Not egoistically, not out of arrogance, but out of knowing that, well, if you invest yourself into something, it should give you some returns. Yeah, it should give you some returns. But also, you deserve a bit of love, right? You deserve a bit of love, maybe a lot of love, maybe all the love. And if you haven't received it from that person, well, maybe it's a good sign to leave them behind. Maybe it's time for you to fully free yourself, to embrace yourself, and recognize that the path in front of you should maybe be walked alone for a while to recognize what you truly deserve, what you truly value, and what is that goal of yours that you would like to experience. And then find people with whom you want to develop relationships that will walk with you there. You don't need to have 10 friends, you don't need to have 3 friends, you can have one that will be the real one. That's all you need. There was a phase in my life where I've distanced myself from most people I know, from most people. And that was the time when we and Maya went to, we call it the life trip. We went on a trip where we've decided that we want to find out how we truly want to live and what is there for us, you know, what is there, the passions, the joy, the curiosity, everything we have within that should be discovered. So we went on that trip and we left everything behind. We've sold most of our things that couldn't package into a car, and we went into a road trip. We've been traveling for months, and that's how our journey began. But one of the biggest things we've left behind was people, our families. We left everything behind to recognize, okay, how we actually function when we are alone. Because you see, most of the time we run to someone because we are scared to be alone, right? Or we are uncomfortable being with ourselves. There's a lot of noise in the mind. Many of you are actually going through solitude. And as we go through these phases of solitude, we recognize that there are pieces of ourselves quite shattered in all the ways, and we're now like pulling them back together. That's what people call pulling my energy back, right? We start pulling all the pieces of ourselves back together and we glue them with gold, right? So scars can turn into wisdom, and wisdom can turn into guidance. And that's a beautiful thing that many of us at some point just decide to do. So we leave people behind, and that's when magic starts happening, because when we did that, we've started meeting the most incredible people in our lives. And I mean that because at one point there was a person that he was a stranger to us, but he helped us when we were at the bottom. Then we went further in our lives. We met so many different strangers that kind of showed us a way. They showed us a way. And it made so much sense. And those are the people that are like guides or we would call them as materialized angels in our lives. We meet them because we left something behind. That's what it means when we say you need to create space for something new by letting something old go. And when it comes to people, well, sometimes the healthiest thing we can truly do is really just let things go. It's tough. It's very tough sometimes because, well, we notice that we are attached, right? And as in Buddhism they say, attachment is the root of all evil. Well, it doesn't mean you should be mean to people. You should be angry towards people. You should express your honest opinion. Yes, you should express your honest emotions with them. If that's anger, if that's frustration, whatever it is, you should express it. It doesn't mean you should be mean towards them, but you should be honest and truthful towards them, which is often the hardest thing to do. But once again, remind yourself that false friends are like shadow. They disappear when you're in the darkness. And those are the people you don't need in your life. And to those people, you should be truthful. You should be honest and you should just disappear. You should disappear, move on with your life and see where the path will take you, because the path may be quite beautiful. You don't know what awaits you on that path if you let go of what is holding you back. You don't know what's there, right? If you want to fly with eagles, this is a famous quote. If you want to fly with eagles, stop swimming with ducks. Stop swimming with ducks or birds or something average. Maybe your path is just something way bigger. Maybe it's just different. It doesn't need to be bigger. Maybe it's just different. Maybe you're surrounded with toxicity and it is poisoning your spirit. And poison feels like something would rob you from life. Like there's no life inside of you. Your cup is empty. If your cup is always empty, it means that something is drinking out of it, right? And it's most probably not you. You're constantly pouring out something somewhere that doesn't give you nothing back. And if that's happening to you, well, firstly acknowledge it. Then secondly, ask yourself, what is filling up my cup? And then ask yourself, okay, where I'm pouring too much of myself and I'm not taking enough time for being filled once again. And then you may notice that people are just taking something from you and not giving anything back. And then you will see those are what people call energy vampires and dream eaters or killers. They always have an opinion about you, a judgment about you, a saying about you, but they never push you into growth. They want for you to stay where you are, so you would stay there with them because it's their comfort zone and they get something from you. Well, obviously. But my friend, what if you deserve so much more? What if the life in front of you is really calling you into an adventure? What if there's real love? What if there's a soulmate somewhere out there? What if you're actually on a quest to become an incredible artist, to become an incredible healer, to become an incredible entrepreneur, to become an incredible teacher, mentor, a coach, a therapist, psychologist, scientist. But there are people in your life that are holding you in the cage of average. Like, hey, go with me partying. Go with me there. Go with me there. Come to my place today or tonight. But you're like, I want to study. I want to work hard. And then they say to you, you are weird. What's wrong with you? Let's enjoy the life. But you know that the joy from life comes when you live your life to the fullest. And you don't live your life to the fullest at parties. You live your life to the fullest when you are reaching your potential and then shining in it. It's a different game because it requires a lot of dedication. It requires a lot of hard work. It requires a lot of passion and service. And it's not done on parties, right? You know that. That's why so many things from those people don't resonate with you. And it is draining you because you know that passion is filling up my cup. Service is filling up my cup. Studying, expansion, practice, that's what's filling up my cup. Sure, party here and there if you love to. Nothing wrong with it. But don't stay stuck in the frame of average because you've been made for so much more. Yeah, you've been made for so much more, my friend. And when I used to be surrounded with this kind of people, I've noticed that partially it feels good and partially it feels exhausting. So it's only as good, so you would say, well, I'm kinda okay, right? Only when you distance yourself, you recognize that you were not okay. So you don't need to justify anything. You just need to take time for yourself and recognize what you really value. And then if your environment is not aligned with your values, well, only you can change that, right? Only you can move you forward on that path. You are the one that will decide and that will walk it. But just keep a reminder that life will always bring towards you the right helpers. They're like angels that come into our lives and show us a way. Sometimes they're like, the lighthouse. Sometimes they're like finger point. Hey, call that person. And sometimes they're like the most genuine souls that appear, give us hug, give us some mental support, some emotional support, and they tell us what we need to hear. Sometimes you come across them on the internet, but look for them in real life because, well, it's still where we exist, right? We are not on the internet. Go outside and look for them. You will be amazed how fast life will bring them to you. Because the thing is that you need to walk towards that dream of yours. And when you walk towards it, the universe will walk towards you. It will walk towards you with the most interesting experiences you've been looking for so long. And I can tell you that because when me and Maya, my partner, have been on that life trip, there was so many incredible experiences that happened just because we went there. And it was not just random, everything was so synchronistic. When you meet the right person that says something to you that you just needed to hear at that time, and then you meet another person that says something else that you also needed to hear, and then there's another person that just confirms everything you've heard, and you recognize, well, everything is meant to be, and now I know I'm on the right path. So I've noticed that sometimes when we are questioning our path, we just need to do more tests, we need to experiment more. Just talk with more it feels random strangers, and see what kind of feedback you will receive, because you will notice that nothing is random. No experience is random. No person in your life is random there. And maybe when you decide to leave certain people behind, you will create space in your life for better ones. What if that's a test from the universe that says to you, I will give you what you want when you will show me that you are ready to let go of what you don't want. I will give you everything you want when you will show me that you're willing to let go of what you don't want. Because you will notice it's not easy to let go of what you don't want to have in your life because you are attached to it. It makes you feel safe, even though you don't like it. Partially you like it. That's why it makes you feel safe. But it also makes you feel stuck. And nature don't want to be stuck. It doesn't want to be stuck. It wants to be fluid. It wants to be free, like a bird. And also you should be free like a bird. You should return back to nature. Not extremely, like go and live in the nature. You can if you want to. But just study nature. Study what requires to grow, right? Deepen your roots. Be a bit more grounded. Practically it means every single day return back to yourself and ask yourself, am I happy? Am I fulfilled? Am I satisfied? That's how you grow your roots, because roots will reach deeper into understanding the awareness of who you are, noticing what makes you happy and what doesn't make you happy, recognizing what fulfills you and what doesn't fulfill you. That's how you deepen your roots. When trees grow deeper roots, storms can't break you anymore, right? They can't shake you so much anymore. That's how you grow. When you expand in your awareness of what makes you fulfilled, what makes you happy, you also start to understand what values are the most important to you. And then you start looking for it in the world. If you value love, you start looking for love. When you value peace, you start looking for peace. When you value joy and creativity, you start looking for it. And you will notice that maybe you haven't found real love because you were not looking for love. You were looking for angry people because that's what was the most familiar to you, right? Most people are walking around saying there are only angry people, there are only mean people. Everywhere I go, I meet angry people, I meet frustrated people. It's not real. It's because that's what you're used to see. When you start looking for love, you will see that there's many lovely people, many loving people. When I've truly dedicated myself to this work every single day, giving a message to you, my friends, when I've started working on my art, when I've started helping people, the biggest change I've noticed in my life was that wherever I go, I meet kind people, really kind people. Even if someone says to me, you know, at that place, the worker was really mean. I go there and they are kind to me. They don't know me, it's just the energy. And that's how the universe works, my friend. So maybe at this point, you deserve to leave false friends, false people behind, because you deserve the real ones. But firstly, you need to get real with yourself, to know yourself well, to grow deeper roots, so then you can find, or actually the right people can find you when you will be ready. So walk your way, my friend, you walk your path and see where this beautiful life will take you. Okay? Okay? Yes. Okay, great. I will leave you here. I hope you found great value today, my friends. I'm sending you lots of love, blessings, and power from Egypt. And I want to say big thanks to anyone for choosing to buy my art. You can find it on AttractPassion.com, where you will find prints of my art, original paintings, shirts, mugs, phone cases, so much more. Go and check it out. And also thanks to everyone for joining our Patreon community for more exclusive content. Thank you so much, and till next time, one love.